Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining the session. This session will be focusing on employability. And my name is Dr. Pamela Nika, and I'm a senior lecturer of corporate and finance law at Brunel Law School. Today, we'll be discussing together about employability options. Some of the stuff that I've got in the slides, I'm going to skip them quickly because I covered them quite extensively in the previous session, the previous webinar, and that's recorded. So please listen to that recording in order to find out why I study law at Brunel Law School. I've also covered extensively our programs, what do we have to offer at both undergraduate and postgraduate level. And of course, the graduate entry LLB program, which is very popular for Canadian students. So yeah, the postgraduate programs, I also covered them in the previous session, so please refer to that recording. Today we'll focus mainly in this particular webinar, we'll focus on employability. So as I mentioned in the previous webinar, you will be taught at Brunel Law School from leading experts in the fields, policy shapers, and very recognized teachers and researchers at both a national and international level. So as I mentioned, you will be taught by specialists and experts in the field. We are the only university in the UK that we have two UN rapporteurs, Professor Javed Rahman, UN rapporteur on human rights in Iran, and Dr. Alexandra Xanthaki, who is a UN special rapporteur on cultural rights and founder also of the Athens Refugee project that we'll talk about in a bit. So in addition to sharing the classroom with these internationally acclaimed teachers and researchers, we also offer a very wide range of extracurricular activities, and we're very proud for that because we focus quite a lot on extracurricular activities and pro bono activities here at Brunel Law School that will really aim at preparing you for the real world. So I'll talk a bit about Law Lives. So what is Law Lives? Law Lives is a very flexible program which allows students to build, develop, and strengthen all these transferable skills that they will need as future lawyers or professionals in any field, really. And this way, it really transforms students into successful, employable graduates. So the key to Law Lives is recognition by participation. Starting with pro bono, for instance, the Brunel Law School has a wide variety of pro bono activities. And these pro bono activities students can get involved in from day one that they join Brunel. There are pro bono opportunities for students of all levels and experiences. So the Pro Bono Clinic that is at Brunel, operates at Brunel, gives students with the opportunity to put their legal knowledge and skills, of course, to use, where students offer this free legal advice to real clients and are supervised by our qualified solicitors. We also have a new legal advice center, relatively new because it's been 3 years now and in full operation. So in this legal advice center, our students work in real life cases. They provide legal advice and they put law pretty much in real life context. So the students, as I mentioned, they work closely with our experienced solicitors. And pretty much we've got clinics in different areas of laws that offers practical legal skills, serious fraud examination, legal advice center. So I've got here quite a few indicative examples of our legal advice center. We've got a specific one which is on IP, so intellectual property rights, employment law, housing, divorce, etc. So there's quite a few specialized law clinics that the students can get involved in from day one, as I mentioned before. So in this legal center, the students pretty much will have the opportunity to interview, research, and advise in various areas of social welfare, intellectual property, trust, in many areas of law, as I mentioned. So students will see real clients by appointment and actually help them and represent clients at employment tribunal. For instance, this is actually a great opportunity for mastering your skills as students, including drafting skills, communication skills, and pretty much, learn more about how to sort of like engender client confidence. Very important, and it really prepares you for the real world once you graduate. Now, to give you a representative example of our pro bono opportunities, we'll talk a bit more about street law. So street law is a group presentation exercise, and this is in front of a client organization, and pretty much it delivers public legal education. So topics in the past and this group presentation have included fuel poverty, human rights, age discrimination, children and the law, various topics. So in practice, students will work in a group of 4 to 6 students maximum. They will do a lot of research on the topic, on their given topic, and then they will draft the presentation and deliver the presentation. So quite an exciting opportunity, again, to sort of like master your presentation skills, drafting skills, public speech, and of course, teamwork as you're working in a group. Another example is the Mackenzie Friend Scheme. Students in their second year, because they will have to pass a few core modules of their first year. So this is an opportunity for second year students now. They can apply to actually join the West London Personal Support Unit. And that's in order to have the opportunity to work alongside clients at court, to understand the legal terminology, documentation. Is like a shadowing experience, really. There's also quite a few, I've included quite a few pictures here just to provide you with all these representative examples of our exciting extracurricular activities that we organize here at Brunel Law School. If you see this bottom picture at the right-hand side, this is one of our internal mooting finals competition in the House of Lords. So we have, as I mentioned, a wide range of extracurricular activities. This include short courses by legal professionals, which include advocacy, client interviewing, and fraud examination. They're very popular among our students. They find them quite interesting because they're taught by professionals in the field, barristers and solicitors. We quite often organize career events. One good example is the Inside Day at the G Aviation, where the students pretty much practice their drafting skills, their contract negotiation skills, and networking. We also have a very successful mentoring scheme. Through the mentoring scheme, our students have the opportunity to engage with professionals, to connect with legal practitioners, and the majority of them are actually our Brunel alumni. So they're very willing to help our students really to reach their career goals. There's also plenty of summer internship opportunities in the City of London or elsewhere. We've got a full week, which we call it the Law Week. And this is dedicated to events that pretty much introduce the students to leading industry professionals. Great for networking opportunities as well. We also provide access to career support, industry topical presentations on cutting edge research, pretty much topics. We also offer quite an insight during that week for our postgraduate law education options at Brunel and of course elsewhere. And we also offer quite a lot of information about alternative career opportunities. So we also have the Athens Refugee project that we're very, very proud of because it was shortlisted and presented actually in the Parliament 2 years ago. And that was right before the pandemic for one of the most actually innovative pro bono programs in the UK. And the Athens Refugee project, as you can imagine, now has frozen because of the pandemic, and we can't practically travel due to various restrictions, but we are aiming to resume next year. So in the context of the Athens Refugee project, the students are taken to Greece, and they work closely with the Eleonas Refugee Center. And the aim is to assist the refugees and work alongside the Greek human rights ombudsman. So the students that are really passionate about human rights, they really enjoy and they describe it as one of those life-changing experiences, really right at the heart of the refugee crisis. We also have a 3-week-long mini pupillage, and this is an opportunity to shadow a barrister and a member of clerkroom chambers. So we've got a 3-week-long work experience, which is excellent for those students that would like to qualify as barristers. Brunel University London is also collaborating with Stowe Family Law. They specialize in divorce, dissolution of civil partnership and associated matters, including financial settlement and arrangements for children. Of course, they have a lot of experience in care proceedings and adoption. So Stowe is offering the top performing students at Brunel Law School in the Children and the Law module, 2 days work experience in their Richmond office. So our top performing students in Children and the Law module will get to work 2 days at the Richmond office, which will give the students, of course, a close insight into children and family law, if this is the area that they're really passionate about. I've included here a few more pictures, really, just to demonstrate our extracurricular activities, which are, of course, designed, as I mentioned, to enhance your skills and enrich your CV before you even graduate. But they also, at the same time, they signify this sense of community that is quite prominent at Brunel. So you will become part, once you join Brunel, you become part of this diverse and vibrant community that it's ready to sort of like pretty much hug you. So law staff and students, they really go the extra mile to organize and participate in activities outside of the classroom all year round. So for instance, I've got one of the pictures here is from the Shakespeare on Trial. As you can see it on my left-hand side bottom. And this is an opportunity for students to mentor and take part in a widening participation scheme, which is pretty much aimed at A-level and AC-level school students. So it's high school students. And the programs brings both the literature and the legal system to life. And this is done by subjecting this fully realized fictional character to in-depth examination, quite an exciting opportunity for our prospective students as well, but also existing students who are helping them and then sort of like mentoring them. And this course also provides the participants with the opportunity to experience what it would be like in the future, or to study in a university environment, as well as visiting, of course, London's iconic Royal Court of Justice. So quite a few opportunities here in terms of getting involved in extracurricular activities. I've also included the picture here for the from the Athens Refugee project that represented us in the Parliament as one of the most innovative, as I mentioned before, pro bono activities available at in the UK. We also had a very exciting event that's from 2019 really, but it was quite fascinating, event. And this is from the visit of the Lady Justice Arden, who is Supreme Court judge. And Lady Arden was joined by a panel of a current law student, Brunel alumni, called Kalyan Ewald, that now she acts as the Assistant Vice President at Barclays Bank. Lady Arden really offered support and encouragement to Brunel Law students by sharing her journey. And of course, she also included some helpful practical tips that students found it really, really helpful and exciting. And of course, there's so much more than this. As you can see yourself, all these exciting extracurricular activities. I've included more pictures here that take place at Brunel. And also, but those include student law society events, competitions. We've got regular visits and talks by judges, policymakers, professionals, field trips and visits. One exciting recent event was the Becoming Black Lawyers event. This was a virtual screening of the Evangeline Michel's new award-winning documentary. So it was live streamed. And then after that, that was followed by a panel discussion and a live Q&A that was actually led by our the head of law. It was quite an interesting discussion, and this took place quite recently. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was on the 9th of February. So you can see that even during the pandemic, that everything is sort of like a bit slow at the moment. We aim to organize these exciting events even virtually, so that the students can get the most out of the these extracurricular activities and events, of course. We also have these events that are called Brunel Law School Inspires Me, where we invite alumni that are now established professionals, so they can share their journey with our existing students. They can share tips, and of course we can have a live Q&A with our existing students, so they can ask all sort of questions about how they achieve their professional goals, etc. So it was quite it is quite interesting, and this is like a series of events, really. We've done 2 so far, and then we aim to do more, of course. So we also have a very active law society that we're very proud of, that of course is student-led, and it works very closely with the law school. We have excellent communication and collaboration with the law society, so we can improve and help our students to achieve their goals, both academically but even afterwards as young professionals. It was, for instance, the last year's president of the Law Society, Nevin Singer. She was nominated by the Law Careers Net for the best Student Law Society President Award, which is quite an achievement. And as you can imagine, they're quite active. They also have a Law Society journal now, where they publish their research, the news of the law school. Quite active law society, I would say, and quite engaging, that you can actually join from day one, that you will enroll into our programs, in any of our programs, really. Now, when it comes to placement, I think I covered that a bit on the previous webinar as well, but I'm just gonna go quickly through the placement program, because I think it's a great opportunity to also enhance your employability, and of course your CV and skills. So the students at Brunel Law School are provided with this opportunity, which is quite unique, to gaining real life experience before they even graduate through the placement program. And this is 1 year fully supervised placement program, which is work experience pretty much either in a law firm or in a corporate setting, or wherever the student wishes to complete the placement here. So usually the students that are enrolled for the 3 years program, they finish the 2nd year, go for the placement, and they come back for the final year. Now for the graduate entry LLB students, for the graduate program, for the 2 years program, students finish their 1st year, they go for a placement, and they come back for the last year. And they usually describe this as a program that really shaped their understanding and interest in specific areas of law, that they really gain some hands-on experience applying what they've learned in theory pretty much in practice. And there's an excellent range of work placement opportunities, such as barrister chambers, small, medium law firms that are located in the City of London or elsewhere. We even have a few international placements. There are a few students that are actually have chosen an international placement. I've got a student that actually right now is in Dubai doing the placement in a law firm. So quite exciting and a wide range of opportunities. There are a few students that work in local authorities, government departments, depending on what you really like to specialize in. Now, in terms of employability, I would say, before moving to our inspirational alumni, just a quick note on employability. So at Brunel Law School, our students are seen as valuable employees for businesses all over the world, really. So according to our statistics, 95 of our graduates, they are in employment, or they decide to go on further studies 6 months after they graduate. So as you can see, the percentage is quite high. Many Brunel Law students, they start their course knowing that they want to progress into the legal profession, and they do so. They become either solicitor or barristers. They qualify either in the UK or in their home countries. But however, studying law can also offer a firm foundation for success in the corporate world as well, government or international relations. So there's plenty of opportunities of alternative careers in law. So our graduates, they do have a wide range of career options, and they may become barristers, as I mentioned before, solicitors, consultants, public administrators, social workers, and many and much more, to be fair. When you study at Brunel Law School, you will receive plenty of support and guidance when it comes to your personal and professional development. So we emphasize quite a lot, as I mentioned before, our pro bono and extracurricular activities. You will benefit from the assistance of a personal tutor as well, a dedicated careers advisor. You also have access to workshop, master classes to help you find the best really path for you. And I've included here some inspirational alumni just to give you an indication of what our graduates do and where are they at the moment. So many of our alumni have gone on to have successful careers, both in law and in other areas. So we give you the opportunity to increase your employability while you study through all these placement options that I mentioned before, legal skills training, and of course, courses and mentoring. I've included a few here. So you can see, for instance, Tony Cohen is a Brunel Law graduate, and now he's a real estate lawyer and partner at Blake Morgan, which is based in the City of London. We've got Professor Geraint Howell, that now acts as the Dean of the Law School and Professor of Commercial Law at City University of Hong Kong. We've got Shailesh Bera, that is a government minister in the parliament at the moment. We've got Kalia as well. Kalia acts as the Vice President and the Chief Controls Office at Barclays Bank. And we also have Sawar, that is a judge at the Judicial Authority in Jordan, in her own country. So these are just a few examples of our inspirational alumni that they're also part of the series that I mentioned before, Brunel Law School Inspires Me, and they share their experience with our students. And they're also part of our mentoring team. Yeah, feel free to follow us, please, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You'll find out quite a lot about Brunel in our social media. They're quite updated almost every day. So you can see all the exciting opportunities at Brunel Law School, including pro bono and extracurricular activities. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for listening. This session is being recorded, so you can listen to it at any time, really. But if you have any questions for us, please feel free to ask us. This session will be followed by a chat. So you can just pop in the chat and ask your questions there, or you can reach out. We've got our details included in this recording, and of course in the presentation as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'll be more than happy to help you. And of course, we're looking forward to welcoming you next year at Brunel Law School. Thanks a lot.